Hold up, listen, man. I'm just trying to talk to you. What's up? $7 for an Italian lotion. That's the deal.
Totally. I don't have any cash on me. Hey, good luck though.
Bro, why are you nervous?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Sorry for what, huh?
I don't want to do this right now.
Hold up, listen to me. I'm just out here trying to make some honest money, all right? Just trying to make my way just like anybody else out here. You feel me?
I feel you, yeah.
Nah. No, you don't. Hey, look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking at you.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sessions Cafe, brought to you by Intrigue Magazine. I'm your host, Keri D. Singleton, and today it is my sincere pleasure to welcome Renrick Palmer to the show. How are you, brother? How you been?
Keri, I'm doing absolutely well. Thank you for having me, brother.
Great to have you here, bro. We have so much to talk about. I mean, you've done so much being an author, an actor, a model. I mean, my God, you've got a story, brother, so I can't wait to jump right into it. First, I want to start with your earlier years. You were born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes.
Home of Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah,
you
man.
love Bob Marley. You know what I mean?
I see, yeah. I look with that Bob Marley on the shirt.
Yes, exactly.
All right, rude boy.
His accent came right out, huh? Okay. First 13 years of your life before you came to the U.S. were spent in Kingston. What was it like growing up? For those of us that have never been to the capital of Jamaica, what was it like growing up in Kingston?
So specifically Portmore, it was absolutely amazing, you know. From me, being on the rooftop, running around barefoot in my backyard, climbing trees, and just eating from the land, like truly. Okay. It's a childhood
Mangoes
dream.
in the backyard.
Mangoes in the backyard. You got the ackee tree, and it just, at that age, just, young, wild, and free, I would say. But it was truly something to really cherish.
So I want to ask you a question, and this is just a kind of an offshoot off of what you said about growing up and having fresh foods in your backyard, etc. The difference between fruits like mangoes and things like that in the United States versus back home, is there a difference? You can taste the difference? Is there?
Yeah, because it's coming right from the source, right? You don't have to pick it and package it and ship it off. It's just like, all right, I'm going outside today. I want an apple. All right, I got an apple, I got a mango in my backyard, and once you know how to pick it when it's right, and you eat that, it's just like straight from the source. It's not.
So is it one of the things, when you came to New York City at age 13, is that one of the things that you might have missed?
I think at that age, being so young, it's like as a kid from Jamaica, you want to go to foreign, right? I'm going to foreign, so you don't really look back and like, oh, these were actually amazing things to have, and really, really cherish it. So when looking back now, it's like, no, those were some of the best times of my life. Yeah.
What are some of the things you miss most about growing up on the island?
The weather.
Yeah,
the weather. Imagine. Allergies weren't a thing back home for me until I came there a few years after coming to New York. But the weather, the authenticity of the food, amazing. You can't get it here like you do back there.
What about your family structure? Where do you fall in line with siblings?
I am the last of 5.
So you're the youngest.
I'm the
you're
youngest.
The baby.
I am the baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you spoiled when you were a kid?
No, not at all. We didn't grow up. We grew up poor. Okay. So it wasn't I'm gonna spoil you. It's like, this is what it is. But we still had fun, and we were still together, one cohesive unit.
Do you feel like your siblings were very protective of you since you were the youngest?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And they would tell on me a lot.
Really?
Yeah, telling me a lot.
Okay.
Hey, he did this. I'm like, gee, here we go.
Wow. So was you like the footstool for your siblings, where they were like, yeah, he did it. He's the guilty guy.
Sometimes it was me.
Yeah.
But they'll let it be known. So not really the footstool, but they wasn't sparing me.
Okay. Well, I'm the oldest, so obviously I'm the.
So you would tell her? You would tell them?
No, my siblings were 12 and 13 years younger than me, so it wasn't even that type of a party. What was it like for you? What do you miss most about being with your siblings in the house back home?
You see, now that we're all grown and I have separate paths and separate directions, you know, so the unison, it's not like it was before because we're all adults now. Everybody living in their own different houses in different states. So that's one of the biggest things. You know,
the cohesion.
The cohesion and seeing them on a daily basis. Now it's just a phone call or, you know, you take a flight there, but that's life. You gotta grow.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. And when you first came to the United States, specifically here in New York City, I know it must have been a culture shock. What was the thing that was most, or what were the things that were most shocking about?
You would say I was really excited about seeing snow for the first time. Okay. You know what I mean? Caribbean kid's dream. It's like, okay, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Can I go out and bid, right?
Being from Boston, I can't relate to the thrill of snow. No.
Well, see, now I don't have no thrill.
Right,
I'm over it. I'm over it now.
Right.
But yeah, that was amazing. And the food, I remember buying Chinese food for the first time and how much they gave. Like for like $4.75, you're getting half a chicken wing with white rice, and I put barbecue sauce on that joint. You was getting a whole lot. I'm like, that's for me.
Wow.
That was
okay.
That was a good time.
Yeah, interesting. And I guess you must have loved the States because you went to the Air Force.
I did.
What was the decision making factors that led you to go into the Air Force? You graduated from high school.
Did college.
And then what made you want to go into the Air Force?
You know, I was just looking at everybody around me, friends, and I'm like, everybody's repeating the same cycle. Your parents did this, and now you're doing the same thing your parents did. You have, you know, a couple of kids, and now you're stuck paying bills and this, that, and the third.
Right.
And you're just stuck in the same life cycle of not moving out of out of the comfort zone of where you live. Like some people, you know, live in Brooklyn and they've never left Brooklyn their whole life. So it's like, how do I expand my horizon and you know, dive deeper into myself and what's out there in the world? So I felt like the walls closing in. So I just like, you know what? A friend of mine, he was like, yo, we should go to the military. I'm like, at that time, I'm like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Go to the military. But then once, you know, I got a little older and it set in, like, what I have to lose? Well, I'll die. Maybe not. Go see what it's all about. And so just to get away and just to get a different perspective. So I joined the Air Force and they shipped me right off to Germany.
Wow. And what did your parents have to say, especially considering that they're from Jamaica?
Okay.
What was their thoughts about your decision to go off and fight for the United States?
Yeah. Well, I ain't telling nobody until about 3 weeks out.
Wow.
Because when you tell somebody your plans, they'll try to, you're going to die and put all this fear in you, and you already got that in you already.
Right.
So if you tell somebody, it's just going to be a double dose, triple, if you know, whoever they tell and come at you with more negativity.
Okay.
So it's like 3 weeks out, hey Ma, I'm leaving.
In less than a month.
I'm leaving in less than a month. So at that time, I think I was in delayed entry program for about eight months. So I had to really sit with that for 8 months. So I was already solidified in my decision. So 3 weeks out, I'm like, I'm leaving.
But you're her baby, so.
She's like, you threw your life away and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I'm already rock solid with my decision. I'm like, this is what it is.
But it had to have been painful for her to watch her baby go.
Yeah.
I mean, not just necessarily because of the fear of something happening, but probably just because she didn't want to see her baby leave.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you hear that as soon as you throw your life away. Like,
Yeah.
I raised you this long, you just gonna do that? I gotta go, Ma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for parents to let their kids go. I mean, I am my mother's oldest of two, and the day that I left just to go from Boston to New York 4 hours down the road.
Where you going?
She had the tears going.
Yeah.
Wow. Operation Inherent Resolve. What was that all about? What was
the Middle East? I deployed 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
Loading live bombs on the F-16.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what Operation
It's a big change from Brooklyn, and even a bigger change from Portmore.
Very, very big change. You never know where life is going to take you. My motto is just do it. Don't be afraid. Just take the leap.
You've taken a lot of leaps. We're going to talk more about that after this break, sir. We'll be right back.
You know, when I broke into the league, I wondered how I could show everyone I was a team player. Well, I bunted 46 times that season, all but 4 resulting in a base hit or a sacrifice. I've been out talking with people who understand me. People who care about the things I got on my mind.
Yeah, I guess that means people like Willie Harris.
Yes, people like Willie Harris.
Well, why don't you just hurry up and get into the banking business together and stop talking about it?
Why? You want to know why? Because we tied up in a race of people who don't know how to do nothing but moan, pray, and have babies.
So before the break, we was talking about your deployment to the Middle East, and where I guess it was hot again. I think.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Very hot. It's not. We were in the desert.
Yeah.
In Jordan, so it ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
That heat.
Was
is
it like that? That's another that had to have been another huge culture shock for you.
Man.
You know, coming from Brooklyn, and now you're in the desert.
Yeah.
You know,
and sleeping in tents.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the Air Force, so we ain't have it too bad. We had AC in the tent. You know, so that's pretty good.
Did you build good relationships with the people?
When you go in the military, you have you develop lifelong relationships for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much to jump into because you've done you've made so many drastic transitions in your life, which is dope. You know what I mean? You have a journey and a story, and I'm going to ask about all of it today. Long Island University degree in exercise science. Now, how did we?
How did I get there?
Yeah, like a degree in exercise science. I don't. What does that mean? You just lift a lot of weights and get a degree? Like, I don't know.
So my undergrad was in biology, and when I went on for the military, came back, I'm like, all right, I want to do a master's, and I have a master's. So I was like, what do I do? I really enjoy exercising, and I just really wanted to know more about my body and how to make it perform, to the most efficient way I possibly can.
Athletically or just in general?
Athletically and just overall.
Okay.
Okay, what's my diet should be, and if I want to look a certain way, how do I do that? So I just went to Long Island University and said, all right, I want to do a master's in exercise science.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what kind of, when you got your degree in exercise science, what did you think you could do with that particular? Was you interested in opening a gym? I don't know.
I could have. Well, if you pursue certain certifications, you could be the strength and conditioning coach for certain colleges or basketball teams.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you could go, the MBA route if you really, have that connection and you speak with people and you got all your ducks in a row. You could go that route, or you could go be a strength and conditioning coach, or you want to figure out, open your own gym if you want to.
But that's not what that wasn't in the cards for Renrick Palmer.
No, that was strictly...
Because you then went to the New York Film Academy.
I did.
And graduated from there.
I did, yeah.
So how did you make, at some point did you say,
where did that go?
Yeah.
So no, how that happened was, so in 2019, so I finished my master's in 1 year, knocked that out, and then I was like, okay, I want to do something. When I left the military, I was like, I want to do something free, different.
Creative.
Just and figured out what that was. I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to keep trying stuff. When I did the modeling for a little bit, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but it didn't stick. It wasn't for me.
Right.
And so I was still figuring that out while I was in college.
Okay.
And then when I finished my year, 2019, my mom passed. So it's like, okay. So that was a big hit. So it's like, okay, how do I want to be remembered?
Right.
So what's the best way to be remembered? And I feel like that's leaving a story behind.
Let's circle back to your mom. Being the youngest, of 5, coming to a brand new country with your family. That had to have been really tough. How did that affect you, losing your mom at a relatively young age?
Yeah.
How did that affect you emotionally in terms of, who you were as a person? Because it seemed like you were pretty strong in your decision making prior to that.
Yeah.
But did that continue? Were you able to?
No, it did, right? Because she was the rock in the family. So it's like when that happened, it was like a big hit. So it's like, how do you somebody has to, you know, replace that rock. And, you know, I think the biggest thing for me was like, okay, she was a teacher, so she'll forever live on within her students and those students who decide to become teachers. So her legacy will go on with not only with me, but with the people she touched as a teacher.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to find my root in that, and it was like, okay, what is it for me? The modeling wasn't it. It's like, I forgot how acting came about, but it was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it 100%. And I'm like, this is one of the ways where I could, besides writing books and stuff like that, was you could live on through the stories you tell on camera, speaking. And you must have obviously had a passion for acting. Passion.
Yes. Because you've done a lot of it.
I've done some. I do love it. I do love it. I got a lot of love for it. Okay. You know, it's a way to leave a lasting impression on the minds of others.
Playing Jackie Robinson on the History Channel.
Yes, did that.
That must have been truly amazing on so many different levels.
It was a dope experience. It was really a dope experience.
I want to hear about that. Like, first of all, how did you get the gig?
So it's all auditioning. So my manager sends me the audition. It's like, okay, Jackie Robinson, cool. All right, I gotta land this one. And there's nobody getting this role over me.
You was like, nah, this is mine.
This is mine. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you put that out in the universe and you do the work, it'll come back. So I just remember just working on it over and over. And then I did the audition. It was we're doing a lot of Zoom auditions. We're still doing that. Did it, and I'm like, I felt good about it when I got off and I got the call back. And then there was another person. I had to do it again, and I'm like, okay, I feel good about that one too. Yeah. And then the day after, my manager calls me like, hey, they want you for the role.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, let's go put it on.
So you and Rico King,
King, that's my brother.
You guys aced that piece.
Yeah.
And what was it like to watch on the History Channel yourself embodying such a legend?
You know what? I don't even own a television, so I didn't even see it on TV. I found it. I know Rico had sent it to me on. I was like, hey Rico, you seen it yet? And he had forwarded me to where I could see it. So it's like, okay, this is dope. This is really dope. And it's just like, it was really good to see.
And what did it feel like to see that though?
It's like you're just watching another person.
Because it was you, though.
But it's like you're watching another person.
Did you feel that way?
But I feel like if you could truly get lost in what you're seeing and you're not seeing yourself no more, then you're doing a great job.
Okay, got you. Nelson Green in the Wedding Band. That was a pretty dope situation.
Absolutely. You came and saw it? Yes, you did with your mom.
My mother and I
thank you so much for coming out.
You
I
did.
appreciate
Thank you for inviting us, man. Like, you embodied that role in that play. It was a really great setup.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
One of the best plays I've seen in a while.
Listen, I got a lot of love for theater, and definitely a big shout out to Owoye Tempo, the director, and just the entire cast. It's a monstrous cast, and all the people that I love that came out to see it, like Claudia, Nez, and Terrell, just everybody. That was my first play. And
really?
That was my first.
Okay.
That was my first.
It's
first off Broadway, first off Broadway production, and it was like, as you said, the set and everything was, and the writing and the time to which it spoke to. Alice Childress and the stuff she went to get her plays out there is truly to be remembered and just honored in itself. So it's like doing that was like, okay, we got to go out and really leave it on the stage every night.
And you definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did an amazing job, and I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me. You played Noah in Game Night.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that experience, because that's so you're going from doing a commercial to doing a theatrical presentation, so now you're doing a film.
Oh yeah, we did a film. So I did a couple of plays. I did Shakespeare in the Park at the Delacorte Theater. That was As You Like It. And then I did another play after that, and then I did Game Night. And that was through it's funny how this game works, right? If you work with people really well, they want to work with you again.
Right, of course.
So I worked with someone on game night, on not game night, on wedding band.
Wedding band, yeah.
And they called me like, hey, we're putting this together. Would you like to be on it? And I read it and everything. I'm like, yeah, this would be the character you guys are picking for me. This is great. I can definitely do this. So I went in there. We had a great time filming it, and it should be out sometime soon.
Good.
Yeah.
And I got to congratulate you. Best Actor Award for Hold Up. You played Hasim.
Hasim, he's a homeless individual.
I remember that piece.
Yeah, you did see it.
And you definitely earned that award. To embody the person, to embody the role of an unhoused person, you know, what kind of research did you do to get that, to nail that?
I feel like if you went without and you grew up without certain things in life, like okay, you channel that, but also we live in New York City.
Right.
You see them all the time.
Yeah, you see homeless people all
if
the time.
If you are empathetic, you could pull from that, you know, and see what it's like to. You might sleep on the floor from 1-2 nights in your house, and man, this is rough.
Right.
It's not the same. But you draw from, or if you ever slept in a car and know how cold it feels outside, or just being in the military, sleeping in the desert.
So you drew from all those experiences.
You draw from all those experiences, and me sleeping in the military was like I'm trying to find a good spot to sleep. You can't really sleep in front of people, so me, I'm gonna go sleep in the bathroom for a little bit. So you got to do all those things. So I draw from all those experiences. Like okay, all right, how does this character need to look, right? So then I was doing a lot of running to show that okay, he's not full, he's starving.
Thin, okay. Yeah. And were you surprised that you won that? I wasn't, to be honest, because you really, really, really did embody that role so well that when I watched the trailer, I was like almost unrecognizable, knowing that I know you as a person.
You see why you just get lost in it. I get lost in it. So it was like, am I doing this? Yeah. But then you get lost in the story, and at the end, when the guy runs away, and he's just standing there by himself, you see somebody lonely. Right. It's like, man. Yeah.
And then he became an author, which is something that you and I have in common.
Absolutely.
The difference, though, is that your book, War Your Way to Success, is about you. It's
my autobiography.
Self-help book based on your life story. Does that make you feel vulnerable putting that out there like that?
In the beginning, writing it, yeah, because you're telling some of the most intimate moments in your life, and sharing that with the world, and saying, okay, this is what I learned from this experience. Take what I learned and do it even better.
Right.
So that was one. It's like, am I really putting this out? It's like, once you do,
you got that moment where
you're you're as an author,
second guessing,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, judge me. It is what it is.
But I was there,
the book launch.
At your book launch, and I watched you. At that point, we had known each other for a while.
Yeah.
And I know that you and I joke around a lot. Our friendship has always been based on a lot of humor. But I was seriously proud of you that night. That was the night that I looked at you and I said, that's my boy right there.
I appreciate that.
That's a brother who's being extraordinarily transparent. And I don't believe that he's putting this book together just to be putting a book together. It's clear that you wanted that book published so that other people could grow and learn from your experiences. And I commend you for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's pretty dope, man. Yeah. So, of all the things that you've done, between being an author and being an actor, I know this is probably a difficult question to answer, but if you had to pick, what's the differences for you? Let's just say, I was going to ask you what do you enjoy doing most, or what do you feel that you do?
It's all storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think there's a difference, because it's just a different form of storytelling.
Okay.
So it's like the book. If you could turn books into movies,
right?
So I look at it in that way, or you could turn a movie into a story.
Right.
You could go whichever way you want to do it. It's a flip of the coin.
What's next for Renrick Palmer?
Is to grow everything I have going on right now. Everything I have going on right now, just keep making it better. That's really all it is.
Well, congratulations on
Thank you so
everything
much,
that you've
brother.
done,
Thank you.
everything that you're going to do, and everything that
Yeah.
flourishes from everything that you've done.
Likewise, listen,
Yeah.
you're an inspiration just within yourself.
Thank you, brother. I
You
know
need to write your autobiography
Not
too.
today. Let everybody know how they can contact you before we get out of here.
All right, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. It's Renrick Palmer, all over Twitter, Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram, YouTube.
Okay.
Just Renrick Palmer.
All over the place.
Yeah, wherever it is, that's
Okay.
me.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show again, brother. And we'll see you next time on Sessions Cafe TV, guys.
Thank you.